Hello, welcome. It's HardLore time. How are you, Bo?
So good.
Me too. I'll tell you why I'm feeling extra good today.
What is that? Where are we at?
We're in Tampa, Florida, live at FYA Fest for a very special occasion. We are joined by highly anticipated guest, long awaited by the HardLore audience and by the HardLore hosts. One of my favorite drummers in the world. One of the best drummers in the world of the hardest band to ever play music. Please welcome Trey from Dying Fetus. How are you, Trey?
I'm pretty good. Wow, good. Thanks for the good talk up.
That's what I do.
Hey, and thank you for inviting me on your t-shirt review podcast. That's so super cool.
What's your favorite t-shirt?
Jeez. Actually, my buddy Blake's old band, Sonny had a band that I used to work for called Medic.
Yeah.
And it had Richard Pryor just looking like a wild man on it.
Sick.
Was it just Medic, Richard Pryor?
Yes.
That's perfect.
Yeah. I miss that shirt actually very much right
Where'd
now.
Where'd it
go? It disappeared. It's probably living on the island of lost left socks.
Yeah.
Dude, my sock situation is dire. I'll be honest with you.
It's tragic. They get sucked into dryers.
Yes,
you know that?
it's true.
That's what happens.
Okay.
What's your favorite t-shirt?
What's your favorite? Dan Seeley's here.
Dan
friend of the
Seeley,
show. He's got. What's his favorite t-shirt of all time?
All time.
Yeah.
Probably the original Urban Chaos shirt.
Original Urban
Urban Chaos 93. So Trey.
Yes.
Dying Fetus playing a hardcore fest is something that people like us have been, just the idea of that has been exciting to us for a long time. How does Dying Fetus feel about it?
We're stoked. We're very thrilled and honored to be asked.
Does it feel like we'll give this a shot, or does it feel at home? Does it feel natural?
Probably in this more modern era for Dying
Sure.
Fetus.
Yeah.
Dying Fetus was known for being a cross genre jumping band.
Big
I mean,
time.
there's a lot of hardcore influence in Dying Fetus, grindcore, death metal, extreme metals of a lot of varieties, less black metal, but hardcore is, I mean, you can't not listen to a Dying Fetus album and go and say, yeah, there's a little hardcore influence
there's
there
Death
and there. And so in the past, Dying Fetus used to play a lot of metal hardcore fests, but like they've before my era, there was a lot more. Since my time, it's been less, but I mean, we've toured together on hardcore tours, along with sharing the stages with Hatebreed and your band, Twitching Tongues,
Yes, sir.
Colin, and so we definitely cross-pollinate.
Absolutely. And it's like we all belong together, I think, you know? 'Cause
Absolutely.
There's a shared ethos of just like hearing a hard riff and the feeling you get. Whatever genre it is, it's the same feeling across all of them of just this.
Just, I'm going to kill somebody.
Just the Robert De Niro face, you know?
I'm going to do it.
That's good.
There's two bands that make me want to, have my back get fucked up.
Yeah.
And that is Hatebreed.
Yeah.
And Suffocation. We were on 70,000 Tons of Metal, and Suffocation was on, and we were backstage. I didn't have to play that day, so I'm drinking those big Fosters that Australians, none of them drink.
beer.
None of the Aussies
they don't
drink
touch that. Yeah.
Well, we're not worried about that.
But I was touching it
Yeah.
a lot, and I was backstage. I was like, I'm going to show you what's up, and it's all band dudes hanging out back there.
Fuck yeah.
And I stage dive, and I land on some woman, and I as I land on her like a spider monkey, I just go, I'm sorry, and I run off, and I go backstage, and I just start shaking my beer like an asshole, and I'm like, you guys are a bunch of pussies. Come on, I'll show you how to do it. And then I jumped off the other side of the stage, and then apparently John, my guitar player, was in the audience, on the audience side, and it just goes, no. And then I ran back behind the stage again. I was like, who's going to start a band circle pit with me? And I gathered like 2 or 3 other guys and the singer for Psychroptic. And we went out there, got a couple laps in, and the singer from Psychroptic apparently slipped and broke his elbow.
Oh, my God. See, that's the
fear. That's why, there's a whole thing of like, I got to play today. I probably shouldn't.
I shouldn't.
And then you always do. And then
when you're a drummer, you got a million things that can go wrong.
And when you're the drummer for Dying Fetus, the world depends on
every
you.
digit. You singing, you can break everything.
Oh, I'll break it all.
Neck down.
I'll still go, yeah,
you're fine.
It'll be fun.
Not if you were doing a God's Hate set.
That's true. I'd be screwed. That's why I'm a real good boy when God Saves playing.
Really?
I'm just vibing in the back.
You're a different good boy when Twitching plays. Diet.
I'm
yelling.
I'm psychotic when Twitching Tongues is playing because I'm just like I'm hearing choppers, Unfortunate Son. You know,
Yeah.
Napalm.
Give me shelter.
I'm smelling it
Yeah.
clear as day. So Suffocation is the band for you where that's going to get you riled up and circle pitting?
Man, Legion of Veracity,
Straight
get that
up,
going,
dude.
and it's like, yeah, I'm going to throw my back out. I'll throw my back out for that.
I love that answer.
And then just any Hatebreed song, you know. I mean, of course, there's their particular bangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, any of the Living in the Moment songs.
Yeah.
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 The Mental Fortitude tracks, the anthems.
Yes.
I'm loving this.
Yeah, this
fun.
is good. This is what it. Full disclosure, wasn't a Fetus guy for a while.
But you weren't not.
But you
I
were,
wasn't
But you
not.
were a fetus.
I was
100%.
indeed at one
We
point.
all
a Fetus.
have-
And now you are a guy.
My mom
we are
swears
all
to God.
going to be dying, and we've all been a fetus.
Wow. But he showed me. He was like, "No, dude. Like, listen to this," kind of a thing. And when you really put your ear to it, it's so obvious.
The heart of Dying Fetus is FYA Fest.
Yeah.
You know? So you joined the band around Descent?
Yeah, a little bit before
that was
that.
your first album.
My first album, 2007, July 4th, 2007
Wow.
is when I got the call.
Happy Independence Day.
Yeah, it
to
was
you, Trey.
quite the life change.
How did you get the call?
On my phone.
Right. Aside from that,
What?
how did you get involved with
Sorry.
the Fetusmen?
Sean, our bass player, gave me a call, and we had just finished playing. I was playing in a band called Covenants that had an ex-member of Dying Fetus in it. Actually, 2 ex-members of Dying Fetus were in the band at one point. That was Vinny, who was the singer for Dying Fetus during like Stop at Nothing era. And then Bruce Gregg, rest in peace, Bruce, who played in Next Step Up. He's no longer with us. I ended up playing in Covenants, getting asked to be in that, thanks to my friend Eric Little, who most recently was playing drums in Integrity and played bass in a bunch of bands I'd been in. But he asked me to join that band, and we opened for Fetus across Canada and the US. At the end of that tour, they fired their drummer and hired me. And
You hear this crossover?
here we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just the amount of hardcore bands you just
listed,
It
yeah.
all just makes more sense.
Yeah.
Bands growing up that got you into playing drums.
I would not say a band.
Right.
I will say the instrument itself.
Okay.
Really? You just fascinated with it?
Man, I turned on MTV as a kid, and like those heavy metal drum sets with the 2 kick drums and all the stuff, and I was like, man, that looks so cool. I want to do that, and I regret every minute of it when I have to set it up every day.
I want to load and set that up. Yeah.
I don't.
How many rack toms you got?
Too many.
2, so
4.
4? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
How many you got total?
Well, not rack toms. Toms
Oh,
total.
4 toms total. No, that's totally fine.
Yeah, 3 up top, 1 on the bottom.
I know some motherfuckers who are, they don't need to be doing that. I know you're using all 4 of them toms. You're familiar, you're on a first name basis with Tom.
Tom, what?
All 4 of them.
Yeah.
So drums got you into drums.
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty cool.
If I'm going to say that there are drummers that I look up to, or I would say were formative in my play style,
Yeah.
I learned how to play drums playing to Helmet albums.
Wow.
We were just talking about them
Really
today.
were.
And great band, John Steiner. I've never pronounced that guy's last name right. But learned how to formatively actually play the drums, playing along to those albums, mainly Betty and Meantime. And then getting into more heavy things as my musical progression happened. Got into Fear Factory. That's when Precise double bass is cool.
There it is.
And then I was also listening to bands like Sick of It All.
Yeah. So you're into hardcore, yeah.
I was decently enough. I wasn't like super deep into
Right.
it. I would say probably my most underground hardcore band would be Sick of It All that I would have listened to as far as an OG band goes.
How'd you discover them?
Record store.
Yeah, it's always like a shirt or
They were all over MTVX.
they were, yeah.
In the underground, off of Scratch the Surface. They had a video for that. And I remember seeing that on some video playing channel, and I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks hard.
They had great videos early, and they were, and let me tell you, them and AFI were playing round the clock on MTVX. Couldn't get away from them.
Around what age would that have been?
Yeah.
High school. So
You started playing drums in high school?
yes, I played bass before that. 13.
Yeah. Yeah,
13,
that makes
14.
sense.
Were you in touring bands a lot before Dying Fetus and Covenants? Is that what it's called?
Covenants would be the first real touring band I was in.
So I went Covenants Fetus. Straight
I
up.
was in a band called Severed Head, and then
Fuck yeah.
which was a death metal band
You don't
in
say.
Baltimore. It's not really a not death metal band name. Great dudes. That guy I mentioned, Eric Little, was the bass player in that project.
Gotcha.
And then I had a band that was a little bit more hardcore, but not in like that era of times hardcore. My old high school band called Tortured. Now when you listen to things like Vain, I hear a lot of what, and I'm not saying that there's that like we were doing something that was way ahead of the time, but this a little bit more of a blending of not so much just the punk hardcore stuff, but elements of other styles of metal getting thrown in there with a little bit more double bass parts, a little bit more, just a little bit. I've heard some of these younger bands, these younger hardcore bands coming out, and I'm like, man, that's some stuff that like concepts we were messing around with when I was in high school. And you can actually find this if you go on YouTube and you type up Tortured 814, you can find a video of me and my old band playing. And maybe what I'm saying you hear or not, but you can see a very short-haired, very not as hairy as I am now, Trey, screaming and playing drums.
Fuck yeah.
Sick.
Yeah.
Would you say that the state of hardcore, particularly like let's say FYA, is more like metal and hard than ever?
The status quo is much more metallic than ever now. And I would say the musicianship is kind of at an all-time high.
Yeah. There's some killers out there.
Like New World Man is very good at all of their instruments. We're one of the most seasoned veteran bands on this festival, probably.
Sure. Yeah.
And Dying Fetus after us is going to be like, well, shit.
Son of a bitch.
What's the point? Yeah. Traveling, you were telling us before we rolled, traveling to a festival like this with like a traveling hardcore small scale fest rig. How difficult is that for you with how insane your drum kit setup is normally?
What are the logistics?
It's just like going to Europe.
Okay.
Or any fly-in gig for me. Cymbals, pedals, electronics, snare.
Yeah.
So no extra toms, no extra
No
nothing.
sticks.
No sticks?
Yeah, I don't play with sticks anymore.
Oh, that's
I'm
awesome.
all hands.
All
No,
hands.
no, I'm just
All
kidding.
fingers?
No,
One time
I bring
I
sticks.
I went to like a state fair and saw BTO. My stepmom was really into BTO.
Yeah.
And whoever the drummer is for BTO played a 10-minute drum solo with just his hands.
Was it Tommy Aldridge? Did he have big bushy hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tommy Aldridge is known for that.
Just
Tommy.
hands. All hands.
Yo, if anybody doesn't know about Tommy Aldridge, check him out, dude. He's an old school basher.
Really?
Yeah. If it was like he had old man, kind of looked like he was a skeleton.
Yeah, absolutely. You're describing Doc Brown basically behind the
but with
drum
big
set.
bushy hair.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
You familiar with a fella named Omar Hakim?
I have his signature snare.
I used his signature snare on a recording recently. I broke it about 5 times during this recording.
The mahogany one?
It's like translucent. It looks like an oil spill.
Oh, that
cool.
one.
Cool.
It's like the Bowie one.
I have the mahogany one.
Is it dope?
Yes.
I popped the bottom snare and the bottom head probably 5 times. It was crazy. I don't think it's meant to be beaten.
I don't understand how that happens. Chris does that a lot.
It's not our fault, right?
How does the bottom head of a snare break?
It's not my fault.
Is it a hardware thing touching it?
It could be. It can also just be general maintenance.
Really?
Yeah. If your snare wires.
Yeah.
If your snare wires are getting a little too. If you had one snare pop, like one snare wire pop, and it'll leave a little burr, and that'll cut in there. And so maybe that, or you cranked it up a couple times because you thought the bottom head needed a little extra, and you just gave it that little.
I might have done that.
And you popped your banjo string.
I might have done that. Who's to say? I don't think it was my fault, really.
Interesting. I didn't.
So Descent is your first record. How stressful was that recording process? Like you said, foot precision with double kick is that's your thing. I have to imagine just recording drums for a Dying Fetus record in general.
Descend and Rain, depending on the song, each song took me a day.
Okay.
Some of them I'd have to come back to another day. We don't do one takes. We kind of, actually we did with Descend, I would kind of do, I would do multiple takes, and then we would go back into the booth and listen and find the ones that were the most precise, and then
require the least amount of
editing.
Yeah.
And then pick those in that process. Total honesty to the public out there, I had nervous breakdown on Descend and Reign Supreme. So, I'd never been under the microscope that hard.
Oh, wow.
And that level of playing, even though Covenants and Severed Head, the band I was in before that, were death metal bands, this was a way big step up. I had to learn different foot techniques, doing double strokes.
Is that like the heel toe thing?
Yes.
What's
crazy.
the side to side one? That one's crazy.
Just swivel.
Swivel's crazy.
It's actually, dude, just honestly, next time you get behind a kit, just rest all of your leg weight on the pedal, put your beater against the head, and then just start putting out a cigarette.
Let's see here.
Oh, really?
Just start putting out a cigarette. And then just slightly let off a little bit of weight, and you will find that it just starts going.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Alan from Black Dahlia Murder would warm up for an hour, I think, before they played, just doing that. And it was like, that was the first time we toured with like a real kind of technical band like that. And it was like, holy shit.
He's a great player.
He's a great player.
Sweet dude, too. Fun
Very
guy.
nice guy.
Something I want to emphasize is like, it's got to be, you drummers out there watching this, take comfort in Trey, one of the best drummers ever, telling you that he's having nervous breakdowns recording because it's fucking hard. I don't know a drummer that hasn't had a nervous breakdown while recording. So I feel better hearing you say that. I'll be honest with you. You're doing full on like gnarly kick half the song a lot of the time.
Double strokes.
Is there a song in the set list where you're like, whew, here we go? Like this is the hard one.
Hey, what's your cannibal?
In the roster of songs we do now on a consistent basis, maybe Womb to Waste or Subjected to a Beating, the end of Subjected. Those two. If there were songs that we don't play as often now, would be Shepherd's Commandment off of Descend into Depravity.
Any vetoes? Any like, can't play that?
Won't do it. Womb to Waste being one of the answers is... Yeah, that's fast.
It picks up at a point.
Does,
It kind of starts fast, and at the end, it kind of gets a little easier to play. Did you guys ever have a PlayStation 1?
Yeah, dude.
You know what I missed when PlayStation got new generations is the CD emulator, the visualizer.
Oh, I loved the visualizer, dude. Like the thing every time you put in one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
That was so cool. I don't know why they got rid of that.
It's just, it just loads the logo now, and then it's the home screen, right?
Yeah, if you play in music, I missed that. I wish they would have kept
Exactly.
that.
Yeah,
iTunes will still do
Xbox
that.
did the same thing.
Yeah.
Windows Media Player.
Winamp.
Dude, I found Windows Media Player didn't match the song.
It was just
It was just stuff. They fucked me. All right, so now that we're talking Reign Supreme, that's straight up like 40% a hardcore record.
That's not a bad descriptor, no. Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about writing Reign Supreme. In general, is it John coming with riffs and saying, Trey, what do you think about doing something like this?
Well, the first two albums I was a part of, it was more of like I was given a homework assignment.
Okay.
John would, in the past, work with a guy named Darren Morris, who is the lead guitar player for Misery Index.
Right.
At that time, he was not in Misery Index. I would have said at that time he was the best kept secret in Maryland, as far as like shredders go and just cool dudes.
Yeah.
He was a roommate of mine. He lived with me for a while. But John would go and hang out with Darren and write music. And John was dealing with some stuff at that point in his life that he needed to sober up for.
Okay.
This was said on a previous podcast, so I don't feel I can't not say it. But he was like super hyper focused about writing some music, and man, he put together some seriously focused stuff, and he was just sequestered with Darren.
Wow, big time. I mean, Reign Supreme. As far as like dynamics, it's not, you guys aren't doing clean vocals, you're not doing big bridge break melodic sections with orchestras and shit, but you still find a way throughout records to make like, okay, this is the song where this happens. This is this song. Like it seems like there's a defined goal with each track. Putting together a whole record, is that kind of the idea, or is it more just like, all right, let's just write some songs?
Not so much that methodology. I think what you would see us do more, and I can better elaborate on when I did pre-production for an album. That was Wrong One to Fuck With.
All right.
Nice.
So I did all the pre-pro for that with John. So me and John locked ourselves in our band room, and we put an album together. And we would just kind of put songs together. We just kind of what feels right coming together. We would start with an opening riff and kind of see where it went. Sometimes we would do things where we'd take the format of another song and use that.
Of yours or another band's?
Both.
Yes.
At times.
There we go.
And I've had conversations with John about like, hey, you'll never believe what I ripped off to get here. And it sounds nothing like it, but then you hear it and you go, oh, wow, that's insane.
Interesting.
Yeah.
We can, we're not plagiarizing,
No.
but like using at least like the verse chorus structure to kind of give yourself a flow.
Yeah.
And then it's going to change, but like it's a good starting point
Absolutely.
to go. But
Max Cavalera says everything comes from somewhere.
of course.
So I think about that every time, just like,
I mean, and also like what band doesn't have like, okay, let's run it again. Start with the X band part.
Yeah.
Start with the Sepultura part.
right.
There's a part on Wrong One to Fuck With, the end of the song Wrong One to Fuck With, the closing riff, I would call it the Morbid Ball riff.
Morbid Angel Madball?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So like that, like I was like, that's Morbid Angel and Madball to me. So like in our recording session, when you highlight that section, if you looked at our
Morbid Ball,
it
all
says
caps.
Morbid Ball, yeah.
Wow, that's fucking incredible.
That's pretty good.
What is the most out of the box musical, like let's say John's like, dude, I got this riff, I took it from this insane thing.
I mean, maybe probably playing like a Ghetto Boys album or something.
Cool.
Yes, dude.
Like he used to do that in the past. I think he would agree with that. I don't want to speak for him.
Of course.
But inspiration comes from lots of places.
It really does.
It doesn't always come from the metal box or the
I'm
hardcore.
and
It can't.
Speaking to that, I'm just realizing how wild it is that a band that was already existing, that's pulling influences from such a place, found a drummer who could fit, who was also pulling
Dude,
influences
it's
from such a
so
place.
hard to find.
How's that possible?
And they found the guy, because you've played on more records than any other drummer in Dying Fetus, I believe.
At this point now, yes.
Or is it 4?
It's 4 now, 4.5 with an EP.
Take that.
And on that EP, History Repeats is the name of that one. We were going to do a Blood for Blood cover.
Yes.
I think, do they do Paper Gangster?
Yeah.
We were going to do Paper Gangster.
Bullshit fit. That's awesome.
We were. It was. Yeah. It was one of the top runners, and then we made an audible at the end. Judgment Day is on, which you're going to help us with that tonight, right?
I am.
All right.
Oh,
I swear I am.
spoiler for me,
spoiler
but
for
you
you.
guys are going to be too late. That's amazing.
Yep.
No, that's off of Killing on Adrenaline.
Okay, right.
And then the Next Step Up cover, which is
Bringing Back the Glory, yeah.
is off of the Grotesque Impalement EP.
Right.
Mm.
You guys ever play that?
We're playing it tonight.
Both?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
We're bringing the hardcore tonight.
Dude, that's
That's-
incredible.
We didn't know what to do. We were like, should we just come with the full hardcore set?
Yeah.
Or should we do we give them Dying Fetus, or do we give them their version of Dying Fetus?
Like what they believe.
Well,
Dying Fetus is.
just like the Dying Fetus they can swallow.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
We didn't want people to be.
People here want to spin, kick, and kill each other.
Yeah, so
for
we're bringing all of those songs.
Holy shit.
We're bringing all of the ones
Unbelievable.
with the caveman breakdowns.
And if you ever need advice on a set for a hardcore fest, you can call your boy.
I was about to give you text you and go and say, give me 2 suggestions.
Yeah.
What's funny is when we've been talking about your set happening for months since this
I started listening to the podcast when you told us about the nomination, and then so I looked back and thank you guys.
Of course. And what's funny is even privately when we were talking, I would be like, do you think they know? Like, do they know? Do you think they're going to cater to the crowd, as you were saying, or not? And Colin was like, they know.
100%.
They know.
They know, dude.
And that speaks to how important it is to stay aware and to play shit like this and see what kids like.
I keep bringing up Death Threat because there was literally a time where John was like, I think he was showing me something from Wrong One to Fuck With was about to come out when we did that tour together. Is that right?
Yeah.
I think it was out.
It might have just
It
It was
just
out. They
come
had
out.
the scrims.
And he was showing me something. It was like a crazy technical notey stuff. And he was like, yeah, I got that from Death Threat. I basically just like played the riff twice as fast and did it all like an octave up. And it was like, that's what I want to hear as if I was listening to the show.
Yeah.
That's just the comfort of like knowing that's what Dying Fetus is. It's Death Threat played sped up, an octave up, and then an octave down from the original one. So in terms of hardcore stuff, John legendarily had just a 25 to life sticker on his guitar when Dying Fetus was in its early stages. Are there hardcore bands that he's gotten you into?
Maybe Stout.
Fuck yeah.
There are people who just now in their car just went, oh shit.
Rick to Life.
25 to life.
Yeah. Cold as Life.
Yep.
Yeah.
These are great answers.
Detroit stuff, right?
Yeah, that's Cold as Life.
Yeah, some of those, I guess those are the ones at the front of the memory.
Okay.
And it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, what we would call beatdown riffs.
Yeah, that's just
right there.
That's that.
But it's just, you know.
And I hope I'm excited for you to see tonight the army of band members that you guys have like created through existing. Like Never Ending Game, Trapped Under Ice, Gridiron, Twitching Tongues. We're all just doing Fetus secretly. You know, we're doing what Fetus is doing with Death Threat. We're playing an octave down, slowed down,
Way down.
played differently.
Single kick.
We're the sons of Fetus are truly among us. The Fetus has grown up. We're not babies anymore. We're not fetuses now.
Nah, and you guys got 401ks.
We
now.
got them. We got them. We're working on it.
Yeah.
It's running out.
Health
But-
insurance, man.
Well,
You got to get off your parents' plan, man.
Exactly.
You got to get your own.
It's been 7 years.
that's dead Fetus if you don't get off that thing.
Where did Wrong 1 2 Fuck With come from?
I think John came to us with it somehow. I think externally from the band.
Yeah.
Or I can't.
love that.
I think ask John because he knows better. I just knew that. Man, I hope this album is received really well because this album title is definitely either going to be the thing that is going to skyrocket it up, or it's going to be like, it is the wrong album to fuck
That's
with.
the every reviewer
shit.
was
Don't
dying
get
to
this.
use that one.
they were
Right,
I know
and
it.
then they heard it, and then fortunately it was well received.
And then you got 9 out of 10. Right one to fuck with. That was the headline.
I think
instead.
one of them online outlets said unfuckwithable.
Very nice.
Good job, metal injection.
It's an incredible
I think that
record
was
title.
Metal Injection.
Wow, yeah, that's one of the greatest album titles of all time. I can tell you the God Take group chat that day was devastated. Because it was like, wow, now we can't have that. We didn't think of that. Why wouldn't
we didn't
why
think it
wouldn't
right.
What, that's on us, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you got Thaddeus as is he your entire merch department?
We miss him.
Is he gone?
He's as it should be.
Yeah.
He has grown as in the industry and now is on to we can't afford him anymore.
Kendrick Lamar or some shit.
We can't afford him anymore.
Yeah.
And that is not any dig against him. Mm-mm. We are super proud and happy for Thaddeus.
Yeah.
Thaddeus, if you see this, we miss you and love you and good luck out there.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful, dude. Thaddeus is a corpsman like ourselves. We met him on tour years ago.
Best smile in the game.
Gorgeous smile. He's looking
Big.
fit, sexy now.
Yeah. Big
Drinking
smile.
water. While he was touring with you guys, did he design all the stuff that you did too?
There was a point in time when he was still working for us and then not working for us where he did curate and did do design.
Curate.
Yes.
Good word.
Yeah. He did curate and design a good portion of our merch. I think towards around the Wrong One to Fuck With album coming out era and stuff like that. When we had a lot more like single color print shirts.
capitalism,
school.
you know?
Yeah.
She kept it nice and cheap.
Yeah, yeah, but hard as fuck.
Hard as fuck.
Hard as
Yeah.
fuck.
The basketball jersey, the wrong
1-2.
Yeah,
And then the scrims. The scrims were unbelievable.
they're pretty cool.
I loved it. Caught my eye.
We had ones that said wrong one, and then on the bottom to fuck with on both sides. So people would just see wrong one. So then we had to get ones that were just wrong one and then to fuck with.
Yeah, that's.
On the
I would
other
never
side.
think of that.
You're still running with wrong one to fuck with, right? I feel like that's the band's motto at this point.
It's our closer tonight.
There you go.
That's a good
Spoiler
answer.
for 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Whenever you see this.
It's kind of like Be Harder.
Yeah.
Like Be Harder will just
That's the
always.
ethos. You're the
it'll
wrong
always
one.
be-
You are the wrong one to
Yeah,
fuck
yeah. That's nice.
I mean, that's what we tell the crowd.
Good.
You know, it's one thing you guys have shown us. Y'all are wrong ones to fuck with.
Tell me a little bit about Make Them Beg for Death, putting that together. It was a long rollout.
Yes.
1 year.
Yeah,
rollout.
saw that
I
cover.
believe.
Let's actually say it's 6 years of rollout.
6 years of rollout. How did that happen?
This cool social experiment we all took a part of called COVID and locking ourselves down happened. And so we all kind of just took some time apart.
Yeah.
I think we kind of needed it as a group, live our own lives for a little while.
Sure.
And, you know, get out of each other's hair. And then we came back together and finished it up once things okay guys, it's time to let's not sit on this another time.
Yeah.
We didn't intend on having another 5-year high break like we did between Reign Supreme and Wrong One.
Oh, it was that long.
Yeah, it was 5 years between Reign Supreme and
Wow.
Wrong One. There was just so much demand during Wrong One's touring cycle that we just didn't have
Reign
time.
Supreme as well, right?
That's what I meant.
That's what.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I got you. I was
That
following.
was Reign Supreme was like a re-breakout record. It was the modern breakout album.
Yeah, a lot of people do say that.
Yeah, I could see
And then
that.
Wrong One did that again.
Yeah, I think it just it just kept us. That's nice, slow up. That's
It's good. Up is good.
Pardon this interruption. We have some very important things to tell you. First of all, this episode is brought to you by Manscaped.
Boy, is it ever.
I can smell it from here. It's the best part of my day. Lathering up. The crop reviver, the crop preserver, the body wash. The lawnmower 5.0 now is out.
With the different light settings.
Dude, you got warm, you got cool, you got off.
Never knew.
It's
I
waterproof,
needed it.
man. You bring it in the shower, you get it done, and then nobody has to know that you're a sick bastard.
You sicko. He grow hair. So sick.
It's so disgusting.
So
How
foul.
could you?
Ugh. What do they
You
get
don't
if
have
they
to anymore with Manscaped.
if they use 20% or if they use code HardLore, they get 20% off and free shipping.
We're all about Manscaped on this show. Trey, if you're listening and watching, we'll take care of you. We'll get some of that hair gone. Don't worry about it.
Don't even worry about it.
This episode is also brought to you by Mad Vintage.
Fuck yeah.
Listen, this place is a gold mine.
It's a literal gold mine.
If you watch this show, if you listen to the show, you know what we're about. Mad Vintage has every shirt you're looking for, basically.
Quite a few that I've been pining for.
Yeah.
That I've been looking for a long time. It's MADD Vintage. He's got an Instagram. He's got a website. If you use HardLore 15, you get 15% off.
Some of these shirts are $300, $400, $500. Rightfully so. And that's a big chunk off, man. That's $50 potentially. So don't wait, because if you wait, we're gonna get those shirts.
I'm gonna get every single one.
So you better act fast. Go to Mad Vintage. Thank you, Mad Vintage, once again for sponsoring the show.
Yes. Also, I need to say that he's always looking to buy stuff. If you got shirts you want to unload, get in contact with him. He's always looking to buy stuff.
He's on Instagram, MADD Vintage.
Yep.
Check him out. Also, you know what's a crazy tour coming up?
What's
Bo?
that?
Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper, Ministry,
Oh,
and Filter. That's kind of insane.
it's kind of a cool tour. Yeah.
That's right. The Freaks on Parade tour is back across the country this summer. It starts August 20th till September 18th, and tickets are on sale now at livenation.com.
Well, even more Freaks on Parade. It was as of the day that you guys are going to be listening to this, tomorrow, Friday, 10 a.m., Kubla Khan, Harm's Way, Pain and Truth, and Justice for the Damned are going on tour. Quick tour in May.
Wow.
Get your tickets 10 a.m. Prompt.
Hell of a lineup.
Quite a lineup. Yep.
Back to the episode.
Harm's Way did the same thing with COVID, where it was like it took 4 years pretty much from when COVID started to when the record came out was the end of this past year. So it was pretty much the whole thing. And we did a similar thing where it's like, we don't know how long this is going to be. Let's write passively and kind of chill. And then you kind of go, oh shit, we should have put something out.
Right. Right. We got to get on the road.
Yeah,
we have nothing.
We got to go.
But the thing is, the actual rollout of the record was 1 year.
Thank you, vinyl.
Dude.
Taylor Swift and Adele.
Adele fucked us. You know what else fucked us? This is some inside info. One of the things that started the vinyl delay was the Cardi B, was it Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B doing WAP, Wet Ass Pussy?
Yeah.
Wet Ass Pussy pre-ordered 60,000 copies.
God.
60,000 Wet Ass Pussy singles.
Were they colored
sold.
vinyl?
Probably. But 60,000 records, Wet Ass Pussy records to print is a lot. So it delayed the whole industry. And then Adele did another million. You can buy that at fucking Rite Aid.
I heard that
the bargain bin.
Adele's had like 12 or 13 colorways.
It's too many, Adele. You don't need that many. I'm a big fan. I love Hello. I love Skyfall. Congrats on the Academy Award. But you don't need that many. Dying Fetus the rollout took a year because of you.
A year.
We might have released it without the vinyl and then just had the vinyls on pre-order.
Yeah.
But you know how the biz works.
Yes,
it's like
I
if
do.
you want those good first week numbers, you got to have it all come out at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was unfortunate, but I think it kind of worked out.
I think it worked out. And I'll tell you one reason I know it worked out. Because Wrong One to Fuck With still was pushing, still has had like a whole second wind. Because there's that fucking kid, the kid on TikTok. I need you to tell me all about this.
Oh, that kid Kevin?
Tell me about Kevin.
I don't know about this.
That was totally another guy's channel who was just like going out and talking to people.
It was like what are you listening to right now?
Oh, okay.
And he said Dying Fetus, and the internet TikTok became obsessed with the idea of Dying Fetus.
Really?
Yeah. So then they brought the kid to a Dying Fetus show.
Yeah. So I can't remember if I think our management reached out to not the Kevin guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think his name was Kevin. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting your name, bud.
This Kevin fella.
User 2948.
But I don't even think that guy was on TikTok. It was this other guy's channel who's like,
And
hey,
they
what are you
just,
listening to?
Oh, I got you.
So we asked hey, what are you listening to?
The
guy?
man on the street.
Yeah.
We were like, hey, look, we'd like to invite you both to the show.
Sick.
So at the Gramercy in New York, we brought them in and brought them on stage, and they spazzed out. And
yeah.
It was cool. It was nice to meet them. You know, it was neat.
Beautiful story.
It's an interesting time, man, when certain things like that. Should I tell the story about when Andy and I were at that square the other day in New York, and that dude asked us?
And you said no, like an asshole.
And I said no.
Do tell. I want to know the story.
Yeah, tell him.
Can I know?
Who's the guy? You would know it better than me because
I don't know their names.
You knew, but you know how it goes. Where it's like, what are you listening to?
Yeah, no, they come to you and say, "Are you a musician?"
Yeah.
They ask like 10 people if they're a musician, and then everybody says no. Once somebody says yes, they like shout out their music, and 1 million people see these things.
My band was putting out a record. I didn't know who that guy was. I thought it was just somebody bothering us.
He says no.
And I was like, no, thanks. And then like 5 minutes later, Andy was like, I think that guy has like a following.
Yeah. Yeah, you blew it.
So I blew that. Sorry,
you could
guys.
have you could have just said Dying Fetus.
I could have just, I didn't even know
That
about
would
it.
have been the nicer thing to do.
It would have. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry.
Hey, it was your band that you could have gotten.
Hey, you fucked yourself, not Dying Fetus. So
I appreciate the sympathy.
Of course. So make them beg for death.
Yes.
This is your 4th record with the band.
Yeah.
What was different going into this one? After Reign Supreme, after Wrong One to Fuck With, you've established that you're the hardest band ever. Many are saying this, that you're the hardest band ever. Is that the goal again with this one?
Well, we can't get softer. We just got to pop another Viagra and get harder, dude. You know,
Man, if God Say It ever did a collab,
Viagra harder. Yeah.
be harder.
Pretty much.
well, I guess the thing that I would say is different is just if you compare it to the one before it, Wrong One, it's just a rendered down version of the progression that you've seen from Descend all the way into now.
So
'Cause
we're rendering. We're getting to a molasses consistency.
We're getting that fat out of there, you know, cutting the fat, you know.
Yeah.
We're just getting down to the lean, you know.
Yeah.
Getting away from needless riffage, you know,
Interesting.
and you know,
Noodling, if you will.
just mindless
You went
grinding.
keto, yeah.
Yeah, essentially, yes. We went not really keto, but yeah, I guess you could say if you wanted to call it a musical diet. Yeah, we just rendered it down and just really focused on writing like a song that's memorable from front to back. Not like we weren't doing it before, but
Yeah.
it was a much more concerted effort to just do that. Like, does it need to be a 5-minute song?
Right.
Love that.
That's like the modern audience's grief with death metal, I think.
Right,
It's
of
just
course.
that like a lot of the classic best death metal bands of all time, sometimes they don't know how to end that song. But Dying Fetus really has like an awareness in terms of just when to end it and how to end it, because you guys understand payoff. You pay the song off. Like the part we chose for best breakdown.
And thank you.
That transition. By God. Were those chugs along with the kicks written in? Or was that a thing where they were like, Trey, I like that, I'm going to chug along with it?
I think that I just wrote those in.
Yeah.
Because I think that those just felt right there. I can't recall if they actually go, they chug along with that.
Because that, like, there's the ones in the middle that don't chug along, and then there's the
Right.
ones that do chug along.
I think I just thought that they needed to keep going.
My man.
That's that.
That's a Treyism.
There you go.
You play to a click?
Recording live. Recording yes, live no.
Interesting.
Oh, real man.
We do play with ears,
Yeah.
but no backing tracks, no
No.
clicks. It's all raw. I count in and then we go.
Amazing.
You love a snare count in.
I like.
You really do.
They're kind of cool. I do like an alternate, like hat count in, a China
count-in's
count in.
good.
I like a count in.
But it's
1, 2, 3, 4, let's go.
that works.
You know,
Something about a snare count in into blasts is really satisfying.
Yeah.
just a slow blast.
Yeah.
It's just a slow blast. You're right.
That's
Amen.
great.
Yeah, we dabble with the idea of going on click.
My band just got done with a tour in November, and it was our first tour where only our drummer played to a click.
Right.
But we do have like textures and pads and stuff playing to a track, so it made everything easier.
Because you just put those on the click.
They're just on the click, so no one has to trigger them. So that's nice.
Right. If we had a track that we needed to play,
Yeah.
we would probably have to do that.
Yeah.
But we don't. It's just 3 guys and too many drums and a bass player and a guitar player who are some of the best players I've ever been able to play with in my life. I have so much confidence at the 2 guys in front of me.
They, for the most part, match everything, right? Bass and guitar are playing the
Oh,
same
yeah.
shit.
He's doing every single one of them. That's all there. Yeah. I don't know
crazy.
how. While singing.
Oh, they're if they ain't seen it, they're gonna see it tonight.
We've been talking about this earlier, that like there's a Dying Fetus cadence.
Yes. This is one of my favorite concepts, is like a lot of bands have a signature, like a rhythm, a pattern, which I would say the Dying Fetus one is like a, yeah, dun, 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 like,
And then into double kick skank version. While meanwhile John is doing one syllable per kick.
yeah.
You ever play a double kick part that's really fast and think, I wish this wasn't so fast. I shouldn't have done double kick here?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
For about an hour every night.
Yeah. I was like, oh, it's so cool to hear.
It's
Not cool to do.
Yeah.
But I do it anyway.
But
really
it's
do.
to the point where, like, I feel like if I went to practice with a riff and I did like a
Yeah, that's
they would be
Dying
like, that's
Fetus.
a Dying Fetus part.
yeah.
Then John has done his job
I would
well.
say so.
Thank you.
Marauder part is like a trem,
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
The God's Hate part is a Marauder part.
Yeah.
Yeah, Harm's Way part is
Yeah. Now, yeah.
Yeah, now it is. Do you have, you can think about this, a number 1 Dying Fetus breakdown of all time?
I think it's intentional manslaughter. There's
the
cadence. Yeah, I think it's that.
I love that.
I think it's that one. Yeah, I think it's intentional manslaughter.
He's just like us for real.
You have to warm up them feet.
Not so much anymore.
Little
hands,
stretch.
my hands need it.
Little pad. I never do that, and then I'm start playing, and I go, my wrist hurt. I should have done.
I have to now. My forearms lock up.
Your forearms lock up.
I've started to develop some carpal tunnel, so yeah, it's super cool. It's really neat.
Great.
It's fun, dude.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
I turned 45 yesterday.
Congrats, dude! You look incredible.
Happy birthday! I would not
Thank
have
you.
guessed.
You look
mid-40s.
incredible.
You want to go out to dinner and a movie?
100%.
Cool.
I would have said 37.
Yeah.
You're doing great, man. You know, I know how you're staying young.
Tequila.
Tequila and paintball.
Yes, sir.
You love paintball.
You play paintball?
Love it. I
Tell me
haven't
more.
played since March, dude. I'm so pissed.
Let's talk paintball.
I know. Yeah, let's go.
What's your favorite paintball?
My favorite ball?
Yeah, dude. I don't know anything about the sport. Please tell us.
So, 5 stars is great because that's tournament grade paint.
Sure.
But Ultra Evil's really good too.
Yeah.
But if you're playing woods ball, some marbleizers are probably going to be better for you. Some of it's bigger bore than others. Yeah, I'm a nerd, folks.
Yeah.
I even built my own paintball guns back in the
Really?
day. Yeah, I have a half block autococker. I know that
What
sounds.
is that?
Yeah,
That sounds like a Dying Fetus song.
half block autococker.
It goes.
I'll show you a picture of my cocker if you want to see it.
I'll edit it in. Here it
Yeah.
is. Can you believe it?
That looks
that
like
was
a
incredible.
double auto cocker.
Yeah.
That's the guy right there.
Now, what does he
I
do?
built that.
So when you shoot
it
it-
shoots lasers of paintballs.
Really?
So it just
It goes as fast as you can pull the trigger, and it has full auto.
So you have a
Did you
tactical
do the double
advantage.
thing?
Yeah.
I had a friend growing up who was super into it, and he would build stuff, and he explained that you do 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, as fast as you can go, and it.
Not only does Trey play paintball, when we toured together, most hours of the day, he was in the green room playing digital paintball on the computer.
Yeah, I was. I remember that. Yeah.
What that's
What?
like they got Call of Duty for paintball?
Yeah. Paintball. They got. Yeah. That's how you know you're extra nerdy.
Yeah.
Is it like Tony Hawk where they have real recreations of real?
There I am playing at an event.
Here it is.
There it is.
Wow.
That's Trey playing an event.
Do you have like a team, a fraternity?
So I used to play tournament ball back in 2005
Wow.
and 4.
That's so funny because
And
that's
so
right
I
when my
used to-
friend was playing too. That's so
Yeah, I
funny.
used to
The
play
paintball
X
era.
ball, 5-man X ball. I did the national circuit. We made it to Sunday at World Cup 1 year.
That's incredible.
They got paint grenades.
Yes,
No way.
yes, but
Really?
they're not.
Is it a faux pas?
No, they're just not really effective.
Oh, okay.
You
But it's not frowned
But,
upon.
but in a tournament, could you use
not
it?
in a like a
in
a major tournament.
Yeah.
In a woods ball or scenario game, yes.
So you can catch some paint shrapnel and that counts. You're dead.
Yes, if you get hit with at least a quarter-sized mark
You're
of
done.
paint on you, you're dead.
I'd be grenade man, dude.
You're
But,
grenadier.
there.
but I'm telling you, they're really not effective.
Yeah,
You
do
got
they
other
pop-
medics?
Like they might not even pop,
Oh.
depending on the scenario game you're playing. So
Holy shit.
I
That's
don't
cool.
see. I
So
don't.
fucking
They just
sick.
wipe paint off you.
In a way, yes.
Yeah.
So there's scenario games where it's instead of like the tournament where it's like 5-on-5 and you're on like this airball inflated field.
Yeah, the inflated
and the
things.
inflated ones. You're on like an entire woods ball property that's like 100 acres,
Wow.
and it's 300 people versus 300 people.
Dude, that sounds awesome.
Sounds incredible. That's a real war. It's just like war.
Yeah, it's a battle.
Body Snatcher, their singer,
He's a ballman?
yeah, and their bass player is too.
Ballman?
They be balling.
Big
They're
ballers.
Ballers.
They're ballmen. Yeah.
Wow, dude.
Wow. Is it expensive?
Can be. Yeah.
Can be.
Yeah,
Paint's like the most expensive part, right?
Just getting geared up with effective stuff.
Yeah.
But
Like the initial
it's
gearing
essentially it's about as expensive as like getting into golf.
Okay.
You know.
Which is like big initial investment, but once you're going, you're kind of going.
Yeah, you're just paying your admission fees and things like that.
And paying for balls or paint. Whatever.
Right.
Interesting.
But so like the big games is like 300 on 300. It's a 2-day long game that does not stop.
What?
Yeah. except for like at night. But
Just
there are
like war. It's just
24-hour
like a
games.
real
There's actually a
war.
24-hour game that happens, I think, near here.
You going?
I'd like to.
You don't have your double cock
schedule
sucker
permitting.
thing.
You know,
Oh, okay.
Dying Fetus is a pretty busy band now.
You really are, dude.
Yeah, so I play with a team called the Timber Ghosts.
Damn.
Timber Ghost.
Shout
you got,
out.
You got merch?
It's my favorite team.
We got jerseys. I got a jersey. I don't know if we have merch or
You got
not.
XL? You do.
I-
You got an XL.
I
You do,
think
dude.
out of my personal
I
stuff,
want it.
You want one?
I want the Timber Ghosts.
Timber Ghosts.
I want to be laced up in some shit nobody got.
hang out with the ghosts with the most.
That's what I want.
But yeah, I roll with these dudes. It's a mixed bag of people. Everything from like somebody from West Baltimore to Hicks from Western Maryland to Virginia boys, some Pennsylvania boys, and we've got some people scattered around the East Coast. There's about, I think, 70 of us now.
Wow.
And we
ghosts.
roll into events,
They roll
and we're
deep.
we're a formidable force at
awesome.
these
Yeah,
events, and we rage afterwards.
Yeah.
And we camp out, and that's mainly these outdoor events are mainly party sessions. So we go and get wasted at night, and then the next day go and
Just like,
shoot each other with an insane hangover.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Anybody ever get wicked hammered and just eat one of the paintballs?
Eat like ow.
Yeah, just like, dude, check it out.
Like a cherry.
Suck it back like a Tide Pod.
That's like never not happening.
Oh.
Like,
Does it dissolve?
You mean you've already been eating paint that day because you probably got hit in the face.
So you've developed a taste for it.
Yeah,
Much like
and it's not an
cannibal.
impressive thing. It's like, unless you're like just new to the sport, somebody's like you and your buddies had just gone to the paintball field for the first time ever, and you're like, eat a ball, dude.
Everybody does it.
You know, after you've been playing for as long as I have, which is like over 20 years now,
Right.
like, oh, cool. Yeah, that's what it tastes like. It's good for your skin.
Where's the worst place to get shot?
The balls.
Balls.
Oh, yeah.
You're not cupped up out there?
I wear a little loincloth thing now.
I
I
would
was
never.
at one of these. I was at one of these big events.
I'd be unarmed.
and I was like, that doorway looks open.
Oh.
Boop, 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 boop. And you know that feeling of it.
Oh, yeah.
Up in here,
Gotta
and then
crouch.
I go into the bathroom, and I'm like, please don't pee blood. Please don't pee blood.
Oh, God.
Did you pee blood?
No.
All right, we're good.
Is there a
Ooh, I gotta show you a picture of my toe too.
is there
I
a
thought you were
minimum
gonna show me something
like
else.
muzzle velocity?
Yeah, 300 under 300 feet per second.
Under 300.
Under 300.
It does
Wow.
now. Isn't it lower? It hurts more as opposed to higher because higher it like almost.
Just evaporates.
If
second
the
hits.
ball bounces off of you,
That hurts
fucked.
worse.
that hurts more.
Yes.
That's like riot
So
gear.
lower velocity, I would imagine.
Could possibly hurt more.
You ever get into airsoft?
Dumb?
Is that like the rollerbladers to skateboarder kind of thing?
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say that. Airsoft, because I rollerbladed and I skateboarded. So
Yeah, but airsoft is just like, look, looks just like a gun. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
I can appreciate like the method of operation aspect of airsoft.
Should we turn the lights on?
Yeah.
I do respect aspects of it because the similar crossover aspects of
Yeah.
it. I just don't like the whole honor system part of it.
Yeah.
Even though in paintball there's a lot of cheating too. You can wipe your hits off of you. And when I was playing tournament ball, I would just tell people I don't wipe. I only wipe when I poop.
That's
I'll just play on with your
Timber
hits
ghosts.
on me.
Only wipe.
Only wipe
poop.
when they poop. Let's wind it down with some kind of basic questions we like to ask.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of our guests. One of them is, who do you do?
Oh,
Which
really good question.
really good question for Trey. I'm very curious. Which that means in terms of like musicians. Like when I'm singing, I'm doing Pete Steele and I'm doing the guy from Only Living Witness. He's doing Hetfield
and a guy from
he's
Youth
doing
Today.
Porcel. Just guys that or gals we've been influenced by that we've subconsciously taken their tricks and their moves.
When I'm doing vocals?
No, when you're
No.
playing drums.
Oh, drums. Dave Whitty.
Fuck yeah.
More of when he was in Human Remains. Municipal Waste is what he's in now. But Human Remains, you heard that album?
Oh, yeah.
Using Sickness as a Hero?
Oh yeah.
That blew my
And that's
brains
some of the
out.
best example of like hard ass shit. Yeah.
Really?
But man, they weren't even like death metal. They were something different. Some
Wild.
kind of weird grind, experimental thing going on. But that I won't deny. I took a lot from Kevin Talley, former Fetus drummer.
That's just keeping the spirit, you know.
I mean, I was influenced by
Already.
him anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And that's Taylor Young's answer to who do you do is Kevin Talley. So
Really?
Yeah.
And then anybody else? maybe like some of the groovy stuff. John from Helmet.
Of course.
Yeah.
You, I can ask him this and he'll have it. Me as a non-drummer, it might take me a second. Do you have a favorite drum fill? Just like first thing that comes to mind.
Pat Boone, Betty Boone.
There we go. Pat boom, Betty boom.
Yeah.
Like in a song. So like the off the wall. What is it? Rock with You. Intro fill. That's probably my favorite fill of all time.
I knew that's what he was going to say.
Is there an established fill from some old song that you hear and you go, that's like your warm up fill?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I have one.
Wow.
You got to get into
He's
it.
an original.
You no doubt Spiderwebs. You know that one?
Oh, like that reggae, the reggae timbale hit at the end.
How good is that?
That's a great one. That's a great one. Or what was it? Two Princes.
Oh, dude.
Dude, come on.
I can't even say it
the
right.
ghost notes in the drum part are
It's a good opening
part.
like to start a song.
Eat food?
No.
You don't.
No, I
You're
don't
off
eat.
I'm off
I
food.
absorb sunlight through my asshole.
That's awesome. So what's your favorite place to get sunlight?
Yeah.
My asshole.
That's perfect. When Dying Fetus is on tour,
Yeah.
I want to know the place that Dying Fetus as a band, you're flying that. This is a question we ask everybody. You're flying down the highway. You're all starving. You see the sign that's got everything on it to pull off. What's the thing? Doesn't matter where it is. The place where the whole band is like, yo, they got this pull off right now.
We used to be a Denny's band.
Holy
Really?
shit.
First,
time.
I think. Well, Zuma.
So you
Dude,
and Cruelty.
Cruelty's going to
The
be
two
so
Denny's
happy to
bands.
hear that. Zuma's going to love that.
Show that to the band, the world.
That is a Denny's Dying Fetus
tour laminate.
all access pass.
What do you get at Denny's?
If you want to get in and out quick, Superbird.
What's the Superbird?
Turkey Club, just toast.
Oh, okay.
Love turkey clubs.
So Superbird, if you want to get in and out fast,
is
moons
crazy.
over my hammy's great.
Sure. Oh, yeah, of course.
But I was being a real slob for a while, and I was getting a country fried steak.
I love a country fried steak.
Wow.
But
Denny's?
nowadays everybody kind of wants to eat a little bit healthier, so it's going to be probably a healthier option if we can do it.
Chipotle or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, like a different place.
Yeah.
So that's the answer.
But we've also been doing bandwagons and stuff now recently, so we can travel in our own with our own food.
So you do that over like a fast food scenario.
Generally now, but when we were like truck stopping and stuff, a Petro, an iron skillet.
Oh, dude, iron skillet. It's been a minute since I've had one. But
All right, question for you guys.
Yes.
Hierarchy: Loves, TA, Flying J.
Loves, Flying J,
or
TA.
Pilot. Pilot's the fourth.
I would go
Pilot.
Loves, Pilot, Flying J, TA.
TA's the worst.
Yeah.
I used to think it was the best.
Let's see.
I'm a Loves guy all the way.
I used to be like a Flying J Pilot guy.
Yeah.
And then on the last couple runs, I've switched to a Loves.
Yeah.
Welcome.
TA flying, not TA. I used to think TAs were the best.
Yeah, same.
I think the West Coast ones are better.
Maybe. That
but-
big truck stop one in Iowa 80, that big one is a TA technically. And I think that's why I always thought that.
Okay. But yeah, it would be Pilot, Flying J is kind of interchangeable. Because
Yeah,
I think you
I
can
think
kinda,
they
you can
are.
pull into different ones and you're like, shot, not
Yeah.
shot.
Yeah.
And then
Loves is king.
Loves is unbelievable.
Loves are they're enjoyers of the show, so they'll be excited to see that.
Are you a Buc-ee's guy? You get in on the hype?
what's Buc-ee's?
There we go.
See?
No, I know it.
No.
Oh, okay.
Of course, man. It's
good.
like
Buc-ee's
it's the
is
national
cool.
touring symbol for
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
been on the road.
Yeah, it literally is.
Oh, you tour?
See, there we go.
Wawa was that for a while for me.
was.
Like I couldn't wait to start touring because all these old fuckers were telling me about Wawa.
Wawa, yeah.
And it's pretty good. I like it a lot.
We had a bad one the other
We
night.
did.
I think I heard you when you were doing the Japanese band.
Cruelty,
yeah, Cruelty.
That those guys when you were talking about their favorite places to have eaten,
Yeah.
particularly like garbage American food. Did you mention Royal Farms?
No.
Somebody liked Royal Farms there.
Yeah,
You
that's
were
more
into that?
on the after you toured.
Yeah,
That's
You're
more
into
of a
those?
Maryland. That's
Yeah.
more of a Maryland specific one.
Something really important I got to ask you about. This is something I ask everybody. Something I'm passionate about.
I am too, just in a different way.
You believe in ghosts?
I believe that there are things that are outside of our perception, and if we cannot see them or perceive them, we can't deny their existence or lack of existence.
That's my
Yeah.
guy.
Now, have I ever felt a weird thing?
Yeah.
or like rushed up the stairs from a dark basement a little bit swifter
Getting
because
the
I didn't want the
CBGBs,
alien
we
from
call it.
Aliens
Yeah.
to get me.
You've gotten the CBGBs before.
Yeah.
1982.
Yeah, I don't know. I've definitely been like, ugh,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but was I
seen
able to
anything.
quantify it to something and actually say I saw something? No, I haven't. So.
According to the internet, there were 8-foot tall aliens in Miami last night.
No shit.
Yeah, there was like videos of people panicking and running. I watched some debunking stuff last night, but you know,
Yeah, I also saw people in Miami say my internet's been out all day, and that's never happened to me.
jury's out. 8 to 10 foot tall.
So this is a historic
shadow.
day that we're talking to you, Trey. This is like aliens are for sure here.
January 6th, a historic day for no other reason.
Happy January 6th to everybody watching.
You're from Baltimore?
From Maryland.
From Maryland.
Recently moved to Baltimore. So now Dying Fetus can be a Baltimore.
Yeah,
band.
there you go. I would say out of all of them, Maryland sounds the most haunted.
It's not as merry as it sounds.
No, it sounds old and scurry.
Maryland.
You know, any of those northeastern, and I think your family's originally from the
Connecticut, yeah.
Northeast.
Yeah.
Any of the Northeast original colony
Witchy.
areas there's a lot, there's a lot of weird stuff. A lot of killing happened.
A lot of killing.
You know, we were like, this is our stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and then Civil War, things like that
Wow,
happened. You know, you can go up to Gettysburg and go on ghost tours up in Gettysburg
Been there,
in Maryland.
Been there. Been to Bull Run. I like war. I like
You
battlefields.
love war.
I love war. I've been to a few of those. But the thing is I'm always like with my dad in the sun
Yeah. So
in the
it's
middle
like,
of the
get me
day.
fuck
It's not
outta
very
here.
scary, you know. I should do a ghost one. That would be fun.
We've done it. I mean,
But like
been
a
on it.
Gettysburg
We've been
one?
at the largest military base in the United States during World War I.
Yeah, it was in Louisville.
You don't want to go there. Haunted pool.
Watch the episode. Yeah. HardLore episode 3.
Trey, is there any closing remarks you would have for the people? Things they want to take with them and want to remember about you and Dying Fetus?
Well, I will just say that Dying Fetus is really grateful to any and all of our fans or newcomers to the scene. If you've discovered us through HardLore and you've enjoyed it, and even if you haven't, we appreciate your time and any moment that you've given us. And we would encourage you to, if you don't like it, give us a second listen.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you'll hear something you do like. It's not going to be every moment hardcore. No. But we thank any and all of you for just giving us a shot. And the people that have kept coming, our repeat offenders, keep repeating, keep offending.
That's
Thanks,
good.
guys.
Trey, thank you so much for being here.
Colin, Bo, thank you very much for having me on your
Oh my
T-shirt
God.
review podcast.
Anytime.
I really
We
appreciate
love
it.
shirts. My favorite one is probably... Damn, my favorite shirt. You know what I just got back is that gray obituary shirt that I used
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
The whole first year of Twitching Tongues, I wore this gray obituary shirt as my gig shirt. Every time, just got it back.
Beautiful.
Huge news. So thanks. That's my favorite shirt. What's your favorite shirt?
I have a original white and Justice for All shirt. The one that Lars wears in the one video with the 4 faces and then the 4 records on the back.
That was a great shirt.
I love that
Great
shirt.
shirt. What do you think of Lars?
I respect Lars.
Gotta respect Lars.
Oh, come on.
And justice for Lars, in our opinion.
It's easy to hate on him.
Yeah. But he was right.
Did you do it?
No. And he was such a big part of the sauce that you can't deny him.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
So we say injustice for Lars. Trey says injustice for Lars. Thank you so much, Trey, for joining us. Thank you all for watching. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.